She was just 17 when she stood on that clay court in New York, racket trembling in her hand, tears streaming down her face. Not tears of defeat, tears of victory. Alexandra Eala had just done something no Filipino had accomplished in over 60 years. And in that moment, as the crowd erupted around her, a nation held its breath. Because this wasn't just a win. This was a promise. A glimpse into a future that would take her from the humid streets of Quezon City to the glittering courts of Roland Garros. But what you don't see behind? Those powerful serves and that million-dollar smile is a story far more complex than any highlight reel could ever capture. Let me take you back to where it all began. February 23, 2005. Manila was buzzing with its usual chaos. Traffic, heat, the hum of millions of dreams colliding in one sprawling city. And on that day, a little girl was born who would carry the weight of those dreams on her shoulders. Alexandra Eala. Her parents had no idea they were raising a champion. Her father, Riza Maniego, was a development professional. Her mother, Michael Eala, a businessman. They weren't wealthy. They weren't connected to tennis royalty. They were just a family trying to make it work. But Alex was different from the start. By the time she could walk, she was running. By the time she could hold a toy, she was holding a racket. Her older brother Miguel was already training in tennis. And Alex, she watched him, studied him, mimicked every swing, every stance, every grunt of effort. She was 6 years old when her parents realized this wasn't just a phase. This was obsession. This was destiny calling. So they made a choice that would change everything. In 2012, when Alex was just 7, her parents sent her to Spain. Not for a vacation. Not for a year abroad. They sent her to the Rafa Nadal Academy. Imagine that for a second. 7 years old, thousands of miles from home. Away from her family, her friends, her language. Dropped into a world where champions are forged through pain, discipline, and relentless repetition. Most kids would have crumbled. Most parents wouldn't have had the courage to let their child go. But the Eala family knew something the rest of us didn't yet. Alex was built for this. The early years at the academy were brutal. She trained 6 hours a day, sometimes more. Her classmates were kids from across the globe, all hungry, all talented, all fighting for the same dream. She learned Spanish through tears and frustration. She learned tennis through blisters and aching muscles. She learned resilience through homesickness that felt like a weight pressing down on her chest. Every single night. But she never quit. By 2016, at just 11 years old, Alex was competing internationally. She was the youngest player in tournaments where girls 4 and 5 years older towered over her. She lost. A lot. But every loss taught her something. Every defeat sharpened her. And slowly, match by match, she started to win. Then came 2020. The world shut down. Pandemic, lockdowns, dreams put on pause. Alex was stuck in Manila, unable to train properly, watching the calendar slip away. For an athlete, time is everything. Every day without training is a day your competitors get ahead. She could feel it slipping. The momentum, the edge, the future she'd been building brick by brick. But here's where you see who Alex really is. She didn't stop. She trained in her backyard. She ran stairs. She visualized matches in her mind. She turned her living room into a makeshift gym. Because champions don't make excuses. They adapt. They survive. They find a way. And when the world opened back up, Alex exploded. 22-1, she won the French Open girls doubles title. The first Filipino to ever win a Grand Slam at any level. Think about that. In a country where basketball is king and tennis is barely a footnote, this teenager just put the Philippines on the tennis map. The celebration back home was insane. News outlets couldn't stop talking about her. Social media went wild. But Alex, she stayed focused because she knew the real test was still ahead, 22 to us. Open Junior Championships, Finals. Alex Eala versus Lucy Havlikova. The crowd was electric. This wasn't just another match. This was history in the making. Alex had already proven herself in doubles. But singles, that's where legends are born. The match was intense. Back and forth. Every point felt like it carried the weight of a nation. And when Alex hit that final shot, when the ball landed just inside the line, when the umpire called it ... time stopped, she collapsed to the court. Not from exhaustion, from pure, overwhelming emotion. She had done it. The first Filipino in 61 years to win a Grand Slam singles title. The first since Felix Barrientos in 1961. 61 years. 2 generations. And this 18-year-old girl from Manila had just rewritten history. Back home, people wept. Strangers in the streets celebrated like it was their own victory. Because in so many ways, it was. Alex wasn't just representing herself. She was representing every kid who'd been told their dream was too big. Every family who'd sacrificed everything for their child's future. Every person who'd ever been underestimated. But winning changes you. Suddenly, Alex wasn't just a talented teenager anymore. She was a national icon. Endorsement deals started flooding in. Nike, Wilson, brands wanted to be associated with her story. The money started coming. Not millions yet, but enough to make life easier for her family. Enough to validate every sacrifice they'd made. Her net worth in 2025. Estimates put it somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million. For a 20-year-old, that's substantial. But here's the thing most people don't realize. Tennis is expensive. Coaching fees, travel, equipment, nutrition, physiotherapy. It all adds up fast. So while Alex is doing well financially, she's also reinvesting most of it back into her career. Because she's not playing for money. She's playing for legacy. Now let's talk about the other side of her life. The part everyone wants to know about. But nobody dares to ask her directly. Her love life, in an age where every celebrity relationship is documented, analyzed, and dissected on social media, Alex has been remarkably private. There have been rumors, of course. Whispers about training partners. Speculation about guys she's been seen with at tournaments. But Alex has never confirmed anything publicly. Not a relationship. Not a boyfriend, nothing. Some people think she's hiding someone. That there's a secret romance happening behind the scenes. Others believe she's simply too focused on tennis to let anyone into her life that way. And honestly, both could be true. Imagine being 20 years old, traveling the world constantly in the public eye. Every meal, every outing, every conversation could end up online. Dating under those conditions isn't romantic. It's strategic. It's calculated. It's exhausting. But there's another possibility that people don't talk about enough. Maybe Alex is just being smart. She's at a crucial point in her career. She's ranked in the top 300 in the world right now. Which sounds impressive until you realize there are only 64 spots in the main draw at Grand Slams. She's fighting for every point. Every ranking position, every opportunity. A relationship right now could be a distraction. Or worse, a weakness that opponents could exploit mentally. So she keeps that part of her life locked away, protected. Sacred her lifestyle, though. That's where things get interesting. Alex splits her time between the Philippines and Spain. When she's home in Manila, she lives relatively modestly. She's close with her family. She hangs out with her brothers. She eats at local restaurants. She tries to maintain some semblance of normalcy in a life that's anything but normal. But when she's competing, the lifestyle shifts. 5-star hotels, first-class flights, private training sessions with world-class coaches. She works with Rafa Nadal's team, which means access to facilities and expertise that most players can only dream about. Her training regimen is intense. 6 hours a day on court, another 2 hours in the gym. Nutritionists planning every meal, physiotherapists monitoring every muscle. It's glamorous, yes. But it's also isolating. She's traveling 40 weeks a year. Different city every week. Different hotel. Different court. Different language. The only constants are her racket and her ambition. Friends back home move on with their lives. They go to college, get jobs, fall in love, make mistakes. Alex? She's in a tennis bubble where every decision impacts her ranking, her sponsorships, her future. People see the Instagram posts, the beautiful locations, the designer outfits, the smiling photos with other players. What they don't see are the ice baths at 2 a.m, the tears after tough losses, the loneliness of eating dinner alone in a hotel room for the 100th night in a row. This is the price of greatness, and Alex pays it willingly. But 2024 brought new challenges. She's been struggling with consistency on the WTA Tour. The jump from juniors to professionals is brutal. These aren't teenagers anymore. These are women in their 20s and 30s who've been doing this for a decade. They're stronger, smarter, more experienced. Every match is a war. Alex has had moments of brilliance, wins that remind everyone why she's special. But she's also had heartbreaking losses. First-round exits, qualifying failures, matches where nothing clicks and she walks off the court wondering if she's good enough. Those doubts, they're the hardest opponent of all. Because tennis is as much mental as it is physical. You can have the best serve in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself in the crucial moment, you'll lose. And Alex has had to fight that battle over and over. The pressure of being the first. The weight of representing an entire country. The expectations that come with early success. It's crushing. But here's what makes Alex different from so many others who've fallen under that same pressure. She has perspective. She knows where she came from. She remembers being that 7-year-old girl crying herself to sleep in Spain, missing her mom's cooking and her dad's jokes. She remembers the sacrifices her family made. She remembers why she started this journey, and that memory keeps her grounded. Her family remains her anchor. They attend her matches when they can. They call her after every tournament, win or lose. They remind her that she's more than her ranking, more than her wins, more than the headlines. She's Alex, their daughter, their sister, their champion. And that love. That's the real wealth in her life. As we move deeper into 2025, Alex is at a crossroads. She's no longer the teenage prodigy everyone's talking about. She's a young professional trying to find her place among the elite. The next few years will define her career. Will she break into the top 100? Will she make the main draw at Grand Slams consistently? Will she become the first Filipino to win a WTA title? These are the questions keeping her up at night. But if her past has taught us anything, it's this. Never count Alexandra Eala out. She's already done the impossible once. Twice, actually. And the hunger in her eyes, that hasn't dimmed one bit. If anything, it's grown stronger. Because she knows what's at stake. She knows that every match is a chance to inspire another kid in the Philippines to pick up a racket. Every win is proof that dreams don't have borders or boundaries. Her sponsors clearly believe in her. Nike continues to back her with premium gear. Wilson crafted a custom racket for her specifications. These companies don't invest in potential alone. They invest in character, in resilience, In athletes who represent something bigger than sport, and Alex represents hope. So what's next for her? The Australian Open is coming. Then the clay court season, where she's historically been strongest. Roland Garros Wimbledon. The US Open, where she made history as a junior. Each tournament is an opportunity. Each match is a statement, but beyond the tennis, there's something else brewing. Rumors of a documentary. Potential book deals. Speaking engagements. Alex's story is bigger than her ranking. It's a narrative about sacrifice, dedication, and the audacity to dream beyond your circumstances. Companies want to be part of that story. Fans want to follow that journey. And Alex. She's just getting started. The girl who left home at 7 has grown into a woman at 20. She's navigated cultures, languages, expectations, and pressures that would have broken most people. She's lost matches, but never lost herself. She's faced criticism, but never lost her grace. And when you watch her play now, you can see it all in her eyes. The little girl who fell in love with tennis. The teenager who conquered the juniors. The young woman fighting to belong at the highest level. They're all there, in every serve, every sprint, every fist pump after a big point. That's the real Alexandra Eala, not the headlines, not the net worth estimates, not the boyfriend rumors or the lifestyle speculation. The real Alex is the sum of every moment that brought her here, every sacrifice, every victory, every loss, every tear, every smile in her story. It's far from over, so the next time you see her name in a draw or catch highlights of her matches, remember what it took to get there. Remember the 7-year-old flying alone to Spain? Remember the pandemic training sessions in a backyard? Remember the weight of history on her shoulders at the US Open. Remember that champions aren't born. They're forged through fire, shaped by pain, and defined by their refusal to quit when quitting would be so much easier. Alexandra Eala is living proof of that truth. And in 2025, she's not just representing the Philippines. She's representing everyone who's ever been told their dream is too big, their goal too distant, their chances too slim. She's proving them all wrong. One match at a time, 1 point at a time, one dream at a time, and we get to watch it happen. What do you think about Alex's journey? Have you been following her rise through tennis? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you're new here at Luminoir, hit that subscribe button, because we're diving deep into the untold stories of the world's most fascinating athletes and celebrities. You won't want to miss what's coming next.